For our group project, we decided to research the position of pilot plant engineer for the industry of biopharmaceuticals. So, what are biopharmaceuticals? Well, biopharmaceuticals, also known as biologics, are pharmaceutical products that involve biological items such as cells, proteins, and tissues, and are made using biological processes. Some examples of biopharmaceutical products include insulin, antibodies, which are used in vaccines, and erythropoietin, which is used to treat anemia.
The primary difference between biopharmaceuticals and traditional pharmaceuticals is the method by which the drugs are produced. The prefix bio means biopharma drugs are manufactured in living organisms such as bacteria, yeast, and mammalian cells, where regular pharmaceuticals are manufactured through multiple chemical synthesis. An example of a biopharma drug is Humira, which is used to treat autoimmune disorders. It is made by joining together DNA molecules, and it is designed to stop TNF-alpha from attacking healthy cells in the body.
New technologies and products being marketed for commercialization are justifiably scrutinized by investors. A pilot plant provides proof of concept to mitigate risk and allay investor concerns. A company can more accurately estimate raw material cost, production cost, and process yield from the operation of a pilot plant. These numbers are often key factors that determine the economic feasibility of a project.
The primary job of a pilot plant in biopharmaceuticals is to take a drug that has already been designed, tested, and optimized and turn it into a viable product by finding a way to produce it cheaply, safely, and efficiently on a much larger scale. This process is called scale-up. This is done so that a company can investigate the process of producing a product before spending a lot of money and doing large-scale drug production. Since the pilot plant is producing on a much smaller scale, it is much more forgiving if there happens to be a mistake. In a power plant, they investigate things like personnel requirements, space requirements, the price of raw materials, process evaluation, and production rates. As a power plant engineer, your primary responsibility is to focus on the scale-up and optimization of a process. In order to do this, some of the tasks a pilot engineer must do include conducting tests, designing layouts, assessing the quality and evaluating the process, and the training and safety of others. Through doing this, pilot plant engineers are able to find out if the process is in compliance with regulations, if there is a part in the process that is dangerous, if the process is efficient, and much more.
In the field of biopharmaceuticals, there are many possible employers where one could find a job as a pilot plant engineer. Many of these companies are household names and multinational corporations that are ever present in our society, through ads we see on TV and on social media, to the prescriptions we pick up every week at the pharmacy. Some of them work specifically with biopharmaceuticals, while others just have a biopharmaceutical sector on top of other work they do in the pharmaceutical industry. Let's look at one, for example, which is Pfizer, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, who have a job for a pilot plant engineer in one of their biopharmaceutical plants. They are looking for an engineer who can work on scale-up and optimization and efficient production for their biotherapeutics portfolio. Of course, you're going to need a BS in chemical engineering, but you're also going to need to be able to process, model, and generate data and reports, not only for engineers, but for people who aren't scientists or engineers, like people in the business sector of the company who need to do work related to distribution and the viability of a product on the market. You're also going to need to acquire raw materials and capital equipment to do the job of an engineer, which is the design and construction of the pilot plant itself, in order for you to test the batches of whatever biopharmaceutical is being produced in this biotherapeutics lab. But I hope that this gives you a good idea of what a pilot plant engineer would do and what they're looking for in terms of hiring for a job. And I hope you've been able to, throughout this presentation, learn about biopharmaceuticals, pilot plants, and what a pilot plant engineer does. Thank you.